I have done probably more work on the bottom of this thing than I've done on the top. This thing's been flipped over. It seems like more often than not. But anyway, got the bottom all surfaced out. So if you have been seeing the videos, some of this is probably redundant, but it got the bottom flattened out. Actually took off about a half an inch or so off the bottom. Now I'm basically hit it with just a little bit of shellac to seal it all off, and then I'm coating it right now with some of that marine spar urethane. It's really tough. It's the same stuff I did the table over there with, and that I did the breakfast trays with. Essentially, it's just your Helmsman spar urethane. So the spar urethane is actually boat quality, very high strength stuff. So that's really nice. So I'm not doing that to the top, but I am going to do the bottom and the sides because I need this to be pretty durable, right? I've got to get a base created, get it attached. People are going to be kicking the bottom. Magazines are going to be hitting the bottom, because this is going to be a coffee table. Things are going to be hitting the sides. So I want that really tough finish for sure around the edges. Certainly things are going to be banging around the top too, but we are just going to do the Osmo on the top. So doing the poly around the sides. I got pretty much one coat on it. It's semi-gloss, but it is shining up pretty good because it's still a little wet. But it's semi-gloss. Pretty much all of this is going to be, I'm not really glossing anything because I really want the wood to show up and look out. The shellac, I really like the shellac, and of course I did a slight French polish to it. I really like that. The only thing about the shellac is it doesn't really make the grain pop out, so usually you have to do some sort of stain, or even on walnut you can put that Danish oil that I have over there in the corner there, the Danish oil with the walnut stain. You can put it on and really make that grain pop. But for end grain, since end grain is just basically going to be dark anyway, I didn't really need to put anything on it. The shellac brought enough of the grain out in itself, and then of course the poly that I'm putting on it right now will add to it. So you can see it's not quite even everywhere. Got one coat on it. Just used a spreader to get it out there, and then a brush around the sides. I will let that dry. That'll be probably a good 2-3 hours before it really gets good and dry, and I could probably I'll probably just go ahead and put another coat on it, and then I'll probably sand it down and leave it that way for now, because what I got to do is I'm working myself to where I can flip this over and start working on the top and getting it done and ready, because at some point I'm gonna have to pour some epoxy in some of these cracks. So there's some pretty good gaps up top. On the bottom I was able to fill them with wood putty and just different kinds of fillers, but on the top I've got some pretty good gaps I'm going to need to fill. I still have some cracks here that I need to make sure I get filled with the epoxy. So essentially what I'm doing is prepping this as a mold, right? I mean, this is going to be its own mold when I get done. So just kind of working my way there. Looks like I need to hit that with a brush. So working my way there to get this to the point to where we can get that top done, fill up the epoxy, do any more inlay work that we plan on doing. Still on the fence on the little arrows, but they would come in handy, especially for the edge checking here. But I don't know. I still haven't figured out if I want to do those or not. So just again, work in progress. If I can get this epoxy done, get at least 2 coats on it and get 1 coat sanded, then I can turn around and start to work on the other side. So that's the plan. So anyway, there you go. Hopefully it'll turn out good. Doesn't look too bad in this direction. Love that little blue streak that goes all the way around there. See that? Isn't that pretty? Goes all the way up and around to each curl. Starts up at the curls, goes all the way around. Luckily at the top you can see the same thing. Comes all the way around and then comes back over here. It's essentially where the tree, what separated the sapwood from the heartwood. But it's gonna look pretty good, I think, when I get done. Be a nice little coffee table. I'm already planning in my head how to make some little end tables and redo my kitchen table to kind of match it. So yeah, not doing slabs on any of those. We'll just do regular wood. But anyway, getting there. Cool.